Hey fans and subscribers, this is your host Joe on the Gaming for Insight channel with you to bring a video on modding your ROG Ally X with the TMR joysticks from Handheld DIY. Out of full disclosure, Handheld DIY sent me these joysticks, no money was exchanged and no terms were set. Thank you Handheld DIY for sending me this joystick mod. This video provides an overview of a guide I built on my website. I encourage you to check out my online guide if you are looking for more details. Okay, so with the introduction out of the way, let's talk about modding your ROG Ally with the TMR joysticks from Handheld DIY. Modding your joysticks on your ROG Ally X, especially with the TMR joysticks mod from Handheld DIY, provides better game movement, farther reach with perfect 45-degree control, higher refresh rate, and also, importantly, no interference. The ROG Ally X does not come with Hall effect joysticks by default. The Handheld DIY mod joysticks are Hall effect ones and have an upgraded feature on its PCBA to prevent interference. You really can tell a difference with the Handheld DIY mod joysticks, and based on my experience within a week so far with these modded joysticks, they are definitely worth using in your ROG Ally X. I recommend this Handheld DIY mod to you with no reservation whatsoever. Okay, so you need some items before you get started with this mod. You need an ROG Ally X, not an ROG Ally 2023, as this mod I'm using is not compatible with the OG Ally. Handheld DIY makes it easy and gives you what you need to complete the install. You will though need your browser of choice to visit Gamepad Tester and your recent version of Armory Crate also installed. The first part to this install is to prepare for the mod. You need to turn off your ROG Ally X, turn the device over, and remove the 6 screws on the backplate. Use the guitar pick next to pry open the backplate. Open the backplate and remove the connecting data cable attached on the backplate. You can put that backplate to the side for now. Regarding the second and third part of my guide, do understand that your left and right directions are going to flip when we work on the front versus the back of the Ally X. Remove the default joysticks next. You can start with the left default joystick, that's direction right facing back, and disconnect the data cable and remove the 3 screws with the provided PH0 screwdriver on the default joystick. The top screw on this one is longer on the joystick. Take note of that, so to insert it back again. Once you remove the default joystick, then remove the joystick cover from it. Next, insert the joystick cover onto the joystick mod from Handheld DIY. Now, this one is going to be the one labeled L, and that label is going to be on its circuit board. You need to install it on the side you have worked on thus far. Fasten the screws and reattach the data cable. Okay, we want to take the same approach with the right joystick. That's direction left facing back. The screws are all the same size for this joystick. Disconnect the data cable and then remove the screws. The data cable has a different placement for this joystick, and the hinge for the port to connect the data cable has a different orientation, so do take note of that. Once you remove the default joystick, then remove the joystick cover from it. Next, insert the joystick cover onto the joystick mod from Handheld DIY. Now, this one has the label R on its circuit board. Install it on the side you have worked on so far, which is, to remind you, direction left this time, facing back. Fasten the screws and reattach the data cable. All right, this next part, we are going to calibrate the joysticks. Keep the backplate off of your ROG Ally X, importantly, for this right now. Plug in your ROG Ally X and power it on. Make sure to grip the ROG Ally X so not to touch parts on the open backside. Authenticate and access Windows, then open up your browser of choice and go to Gamepad Tester. Gamepad Tester only will detect your controls if your ROG Ally X, specifically Armory Crate, is set to Gamepad mode. Select your controls in Gamepad Tester's GUI once detected on the web page. Change the mode in the quick access menu of Armory Crate provided with the shortcut if it is there, if needed, so to have your controls detected with Gamepad Tester. Importantly, you will notice that your dots are not fully centered on your joysticks within the Gamepad Tester GUI. This is expected. as we need to do some calibration. Calibration of the left and right joystick mod installed is going to require a combination of pressing the buttons K1 and K2 on each of the mod joystick circuit boards in separate instances. Do note that the K buttons have a different orientation for each joystick mod. For each joystick, one at a time, press K1 located on each joystick circuit board. Top button for left joystick and right button for right joystick. Rotate the ROG Ally X and then, once facing front, rotate the joysticks clockwise more than 3 times. If your dots are still not centered in the joystick area of the Gamepad tester GUI, then for each joystick, one at a time, press K2 and use the corresponding joystick to center the dot. But don't let go once you do. Press K2 again to center the dot. Each time you press a K button on each joystick circuit board, you will see an LED light indicator for that corresponding joystick circuit board. You may have to repeat steps for pressing both K buttons one at a time and one joystick at a time to center the dot. The axis measurement in Gamepad Tester, importantly, you will want to target 0.00002. However, 0.00392 is a standard value as well, but the former number is achievable. So following the steps again will allow you to reach that number. Use my online guide for further help on this part. Next, you will want to follow through the calibration process on Armory Crate as well for both the left and right modded joysticks. I recommend erasing any previous calibration settings prior to calibrating the mod joysticks. This is very important. Okay, so wrapping up the install for this mod, close out your browser, including any items or programs, shut down your ROG Ally X, reattach the data cable on the backplate that we originally removed, reapply and fasten the backplate on the ROG Ally X. And that's it. Okay, well, that is going to wrap it up for this guide. So what do you think? Are you excited to use the handheld DIY mod for the ROG Ally X? Feel welcome to let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any questions about my online guide, do leave me a comment below as well within this video. Thank you, Handheld DIY, for making this video possible. Fans and subscribers, I look forward to reading your thoughts, and if you are interested in me making a video further on this mod by Handheld DIY or any of its additional products, I should go.